Dear students, I welcome you all to this physics tutorial series of class 11 physics. I am following the book by NCERT for class 11. So in this video, we will learn about the average speed and average velocity. So first of all, we have to understand what is the average term. Suppose we have 5 measurements, suppose 2 meter, 3 meter, again 2.5 meter, again suppose 3.5 meter, and suppose 4 meter. So these are the suppose some measurements from, as we have learned from our previous chapter, that we have 5 measurements. If we want to find out the average of this measurement, so what we'll have, we have 5 number of measurements, 1 2 3 4 5. These are the 5 number of measurements. So if we have to find the average of these measurements, what we will do, we will add the measurement values, that is 2 plus 3 plus 2.5 plus 3.5 plus 4. So this is the sum of the measurements. Now we have total 5 number of measurements. So if we divide with 5, then we will have the average of this measurements. So what will be the value? So 2 plus 3 is 5, 5 plus 2 it is 7.5, then 8, and 8 plus 3 it is 11, 11 plus 4 it is 15, 15 divided by 5, so it is 15 divided by 5. So here we'll have a average value of 3. Okay, this is the average. So I hope you understood. So I hope you understand this. So this average term means we are making the sum. So this average term gives our some value, or that is nearby to all the measurement values. In some other cases, it might not be near to the values if they deviate or if the values fluctuate. If there is a high fluctuation, this average value may not resemble with all the measurements. Okay, so in this video we are concerned with the average speed and average velocity. So first of all, let us understand what is average speed. So the term speed, you have to understand that speed is a scalar quantity. Why? Speed is path length divided by the time. So average speed, we can define it as the path length divided by the time interval. So let me write down here, path length divided by the time interval. Okay, this is nothing but that this is the formula, or this is the definition of the average speed. Let us take one example. Suppose we have a rectilinear motion. This is one axis, or we have, suppose this is positive x direction, this is negative x. Suppose we have a 0 point here. Now similar to the previous cases, suppose the object, one object here at this point, let me show with another color. Suppose this one is one object, it moves along the positive x direction up to here. So this point is suppose 2 meter. Okay, and it again moves towards here. Okay, this is suppose 4 meter, and it moves towards this direction, and it again reverts, and it moves along the negative x direction, that is from the right hand side to the left hand side of this same axis. We are considering rectilinear motion, therefore we have assumed that it is moving along this axis, either in positive direction or negative direction. So at time t1 we have this position of object is at A, this 1 point. At t2 this object is at 4 point. Okay, and then at time t3 again it is at position 2 meter. Okay, so what is the path length? So for finding out this average speed, we have to first of all find out the path length. So what is the path length here? We have to sum all the distances the object has traveled. Average speed, this is a scalar quantity, so we have to find out the sum of the path length. At the first point we have, this is the 2 meter. Okay, so 2 meter plus, then again we have from 2 meter to 4 meter. Okay, so again we have to add 2 meter plus, again the object has traveled 2 meter to t3 time. Okay, so 2 meter. So what is the direction, or what is the time? Suppose in 1 second it has moved this much of distance. So we have to find out the total time. Suppose the object is moving with uniform speed, and in 1 second it is 2 meter, it is moving. After 1 second it is again 2 meter, again in 1 second, in the third second it is moving another 2 meter. Okay, so here we'll have 3 seconds. So what will be the speed? So 2 plus 2 plus 2, it is 6. 6 by 3, it is 2 meter per second. So m s to the power minus 1, or we can write it as meter per second. Okay, so this is the speed. So how we have found? This is the total path length, this is the total time. Okay, so this is the total speed. Now we have to understand, we will consider the same example and we will find out the velocity. So now let us understand what is average velocity. So average velocity, now this is a vector quantity, and if we consider the average velocity, velocity is always related to the displacement, and we know that the displacement is a vector quantity. And how we find out the displacement? The final position minus the initial position, and we have to divide it with the time interval. So average velocity, the definition will be displacement divided by the time interval. So this is nothing but that this is the definition of the average velocity. Now in the case of displacement, we have already learned in our previous video that displacement is nothing but the final position minus the initial position. So this is the displacement. Now let us consider this case. Now let us consider this same case. So in this case, we can see that the initial position is at 0 and the final position is at 2 meter. Okay, now what is the time? Time taken is, it is 3 seconds. We have already considered that in after 1 second it is moving, or it is at position. These are the positions. Okay, so what will happen? This average velocity will be equal to displacement, means final position minus initial position divided by the time interval. Time interval is same with the speed case. So final position is at 2 meter. Initial position was at 0. Here you can see initial position was at 0 here at this point. Final position was at 2 meter. So 2 minus 0 divided by time interval. Time interval means here 3 seconds. So we have 2 by 3 this much of meter per second. So this velocity also has the same unit, but velocity has some direction. So here we can say that the direction is from the left to the right, or towards the positive x-axis. If the final position comes here, then we can say that the velocity is towards the negative direction. Okay, now for this example we have seen that the velocity is 2 by 3 meter per second. So in this problem we can clearly see that the speed and the velocity, the average speed and the average velocity, they are not the same. In some other cases it might be same. When the object moves in the same direction only, then only you will have the same average speed and same average velocity. But whenever you say this is velocity, you will have to mention some direction. So 2 by 3 meter per second we can see along the positive x direction. So this is along the positive direction, or if we put a positive symbol here, then also it means that it is along the positive x direction. So in general cases we have seen that the velocity, this velocity value, we have a lower value in comparison to this speed value. Speed was 2 meter per second, but the velocity was 2 by 3. Okay, so this is a smaller value. Okay, so here we'll have the velocity. In most of the cases it will be a smaller quantity than the average speed, but in some other cases also it may be of the same magnitude. So this much for today. Thank you for watching. If you have any question, please put it in the comment section below. Also like, share and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.